Hi, guys. Have you heard about the attack on merchant vessels in the Strait of Hormuz some time ago?
Yes, Gina, it's crazy. Indeed, the Strait of Hormuz is a critical transit point for oil exports from the Persian Gulf to the rest of the world, particularly to countries in Asia.
Yes, you are right, Bella. It's a choke point, and it's a valuable strategic asset. Whoever controls the Strait of Hormuz controls the flow of oil in the region. The Strait of Hormuz is highly significant for the global economy and American security. In the past, the United States had 2 aircraft carriers on standby in the strait to ensure its security and stability. This presence served as a deterrent and demonstrated the U.S. commitment to safeguarding the uninterrupted flow of oil through this critical waterway. However, following the shale oil revolution and the increased production of domestic energy resources in the United States, the country achieved a level of energy independence. As a result, the U.S. reduced its reliance on oil imports from the Middle East, including those passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Consequently, the withdrawal of U.S. aircraft carriers from the strait created a sense of unease in the region, as it raised concerns about the potential impact on the security dynamics and stability of the area.
So far, there have been no major problems in this strait, but there is always a potential conflict. Is that right, Bella?
Yes, that's right, Gina. It means that the Strait of Hormuz is a potential flashpoint for conflict. If tensions in the region continue to rise, it's possible that we could see another war over control of the strait.
That would be a disaster. The world economy depends on the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf. If the Strait of Hormuz were to be blocked, the price of oil would skyrocket and the global economy would be plunged into chaos. It is stated that over 85% of the crude oil produced in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Iraq, and the UAE transits through the Strait of Hormuz to reach its primary destinations in the Asian market. These destinations include prominent countries such as Japan, India, South Korea, and China.
That is why the Strait of Hormuz is a very important point for Asian countries. So what can be done to prevent this from happening?
The best thing that can be done is to try to reduce tensions in the region. The United States and its allies need to work with Iran to find a way to resolve their differences peacefully.
That's not going to be easy. Iran is a very complex country with a long history of conflict. But it's worth trying because the alternative is too dangerous. Hi Gina, can you provide some other historical incidents or events of choke points?
Did you know that the Battle of Thermopylae was fought at a choke point?
Really? I didn't know that. What's a choke point?
Now we know that a choke point is a narrow passage that forces an enemy force to pass through it in order to reach their objective. The Battle of Thermopylae was fought at a choke point called the Thermopylae Pass.
That makes sense. The Greeks were able to hold off the Persians at Thermopylae because they were able to defend the pass with a smaller force. The Persians outnumbered the Greeks by far. Is that right, Tony?
Exactly, Bella. The Persians were outnumbered by the Greeks, but they were able to take advantage of the terrain and the choke point to hold them off for 3 days. Isn't it amazing, Bella?
Wow, that's amazing, Tony. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting story. The Battle of Thermopylae is a classic example of how a choke point can be used to defend a territory against a larger force.
So, what are some other examples of choke points that have been used in history, Tony?
There are many examples, Gina. As mentioned earlier, the Strait of Hormuz is a choke point that controls the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf to the rest of the world. The English Channel is a choke point that protects the British Isles from invasion. And the Panama Canal is a choke point that connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
Those are all really important choke points.
Yes, they are. Choke points are critical strategic assets, and they have been used throughout history to great effect.
I'm glad I learned about choke points today, Tony.
Me too, Gina. It's important to understand how choke points can be used in both offensive and defensive ways.
Exactly. Choke points are an important part of military strategy, and they will continue to be used in the future. Indeed, choke points hold significant strategic and economic importance. They serve as vital nodes for military operations, enabling control over key transportation routes.
Additionally, choke points have a profound impact on global trade and the economy, as the majority of maritime trade passes through these narrow passages.
Ensuring the security and stability of choke points is crucial for the uninterrupted flow of goods and resources, making them of ongoing significance in both military strategy and the global economy. Choke points are crucial both militarily and for the global economy. They have a significant impact on military operations and control over transportation routes. They also play a vital role in facilitating international trade and resource transport. Ensuring their security is of utmost importance. This time we talked about choke points, and it was very informative. Thank you for watching the video, The Choke Point, provided by History and Current Events. Gina, Bella, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.